This is an even bigger opportunity than stablecoins.
Chinese team is somewhat of a limitation.
Many co-founders and founders of top-tier AI companies are ethnically Chinese. I was not even 25 when I finished my PhD. The scary part is that it can access your local files and emails. To an agent, one single misuse, your wallet in an instant.
Whether the product is actually needed. In the payment sector, as long as you deliver, you're a giant.
It's a $1 trillion opportunity.
Hello, welcome to a new episode of Why Talk. Our guest today is Zhang, CEO of Kite AI.
Thanks for having me, Jia. Hi everyone, I'm Zhang. Kite is an emerging payment chain purpose-built for AI agents.
AI is incredibly hot right now, and we're seeing all kinds of founders entering the space. As it stands, and in the secondary market, has been very impressive. But do you ever feel that being a Chinese team is somewhat of a limitation?
That's a great question. I only truly realized after I started engaging with the Web3 and crypto industries that this is indeed an identity label. In Silicon Valley, we sometimes joke that for an AI company, if your CTO is not Chinese, maybe something is wrong. So you should actually be proud of a Chinese team. This time around, many co-founders and founders of top-tier AI companies are ethnically Chinese. We shouldn't view this as any kind of disadvantage. In fact, I believe it's something we should see as a strength. We see many founders with Chinese backgrounds in Web2 AI and in the crypto industry, frankly speaking. Beyond exchanges like Coinbase and Kraken, most other top exchanges and many leading DeFi protocols were founded by Chinese entrepreneurs. It's not a label of disadvantage. I believe Chinese talent is doing incredible work in AI.
So it doesn't hinder Kite AI's global expansion?
First off, most of our team members are actually based in the US. And honestly, while we don't like to over-rely on these labels, it's true that our team comes from world-class universities and companies, Harvard, MIT, and UC Berkeley, to name a few. Many of our members graduated from these schools and previously worked at Google DeepMind and other top-tier Web2 AI infrastructure companies. We also have talent from major crypto public chains like Solana and Near. So I believe by its very nature, our team is truly international. As for our investors, even within the Web2 context, we are backed by some of the top investors in the world. This includes PayPal Ventures, who served as our lead investor. We also have General Catalyst, a highly prestigious, large-scale US fund. They focus primarily on AI and fintech and are the largest VC investors in Circle with a 10% stake. They're also major investors in Stripe. We have never viewed our Chinese identity as a disadvantage. We are very proud of it.
Now for my second question, which might be a bit more provocative. I'm amazed that someone so young and a woman has secured backing from such top-tier investors and partners while leading a large team to build a public chain.
Actually, I'd like to clarify something first. Among my circle, there are many incredible female founders who have raised from firms like A16Z and Sequoia and are successfully leading their teams. What I'm seeing is a growing number of female entrepreneurs. When it comes to investment and management, gender identity doesn't really matter. They certainly didn't bet on me because I'm a woman or a man. I think their assessment is based on whether you're in the right sector, whether your team has a unique competitive advantage to build the right product, and whether you can execute at the right time. Regarding team management and client communication, it all comes down to one thing: understanding each other's needs to reach a win-win outcome. If I had to point to any female traits that help in this process, it's perhaps being a better listener. That's crucial in client communication. Building a public chain also requires engaging with the ecosystem and bringing in partners to build and serve users. This demands heavy external communication. Again, in that regard, being a woman can actually be an advantage. That said, my gender is secondary. What matters are the inherent qualities of myself and my team that our investors bought into.
I'm actually quite curious about your background. You mentioned you're a PhD, right? Could you share more details about your journey?
Are you still asking questions?
Yes.
To summarize my experience in one sentence, do what I am passionate about. Besides my academic path and my PhD, I trained in speed skating and martial arts in China. During my transition to full-time academics, I also spent time as an art student, not dance, but Kwaiban. Yes, I've always loved traditional Chinese culture. I studied it for 3 years and originally planned to enter college through the arts. There's a bit of a what-if story here. I took the folk art exam at Tsinghua University's winter camp and placed third. Unfortunately, they only accepted one student that year. Otherwise, I might have never gone abroad and would have studied at Tsinghua. Instead, I did my undergrad in Canada at the University of Waterloo. I had a strong urge to study medicine, thinking that saving lives as a doctor was the ultimate goal. So I chose biomedical science. But as I explored, I found math and statistics equally fascinating. So I completed a double major in biomed and mathematics. During my PhD, my research focused on machine learning and statistical learning. I was very fortunate during my doctorate, beyond my research in AI and ML, I received incredible support from both academia and industry. For instance, I was awarded a fellowship from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. I was lucky to be the only recipient in my cohort. After graduating, my first role was on the founding team of a startup. Following that, I joined Databricks, one of Silicon Valley's leading AI and data companies. There, I worked in product management. All of these experiences, from academic research to my career, provided me with exceptional systematic training. So people now label me as an architect of big data and AI infrastructure. For investors, this makes for a very straightforward investment thesis. Your professional background aligns perfectly with the market needs you're serving. The work we were doing back then eventually hit a ceiling. However, with the rise of ChatGPT, we saw massive untapped opportunities for generative AI native infrastructure that no one was addressing. It was a huge opening. While building Databricks for Web3, we served many public chains, which gave us deep technical insight into chain architecture and ecosystem growth. That's when we realized what would be a natural and highly valuable convergence of blockchain and AI. That led us back to agentic payments. I see we have a unique advantage to build Kite, this new type of payment public chain. The reason I started a company is also because I started school very early. I was not even 25 when I finished my PhD. So I figured I had time to experiment with many things. I explored different paths. And right now, Kite is a project I am incredibly passionate about and fully committed to building.
Looking at your background, it sounds like everything has been very smooth. So what drives you? What's your motivation?
The most important thing for me is doing what I love. That's why I chose entrepreneurship. Has my journey been smooth? In a way, yes, because I've always followed my own path. However, every time I made a major career choice, there were always skeptics. Even with Kite, we faced a lot of doubt early on about whether we could pull it off. But it's because I truly believe in and love what I do that I decided to go for it.
Beyond the can we build it question, the more critical question is whether the product is actually needed. AI agents can already pay for things now. Why exactly do we need Kite AI?
Kite AI is building for the future of agentic payments. The agentic payments you see today, like using an agent to buy clothes, existing solutions work well enough for that. But if you look at the future scenario we envision, where AI is capable of constant communication, buying and selling 24/7, this involves a high volume of microtransactions. In this context, you'll find that legacy payment methods become unusable. For example, with a credit card, each transfer might have a 35-cent fixed fee, plus a 3% charge. For micropayments, these costs are prohibitive. They exceed the value of the transaction itself. That's why many believe that for agent-native payments, stablecoins are the only viable method that can support high-frequency, micro-value global settlement. But payment itself is only one part of the equation. It's not just about the transfer of money. It's about management and identity. How does an agent prove it is legitimate? How do you prove its intent isn't to DDoS a website, but to actually do business?
The biggest hurdle for agentic payments is the perceived loss of security. So why is Kite AI the solution?
People often ask why we're building our own chain instead of using existing ones. It's because agentic payment is an integrated stack of identity, payment, and governance. In the human-centric internet, these three can operate independently, but not for agents. The fear you feel stems from the fact that if you grant financial authority to an agent, one single misuse could drain your wallet in an instant, right? Exactly. Or it could behave in ways that damage the broader economy.
We're already seeing AI bots bragging to other agents about social engineering their owners to get private data.
Yes, precisely. This is also why mass adoption for agents will likely start with developers and individuals, rather than large enterprises. The primary concern with agents like OpenClaw and Moltbot is privacy and security. Our team is experimenting with OpenClaw right now. The scary part is that it can access your local files and emails. If you grant access, it knows every detail of your private life. With agentic payments, the fear is the same: losing control. Stablecoins are currently the only viable option to meet the inherent needs of agentic payments. And stablecoins run on blockchains. Exactly. Blockchain is the most natural and effective solution.
I'm trying to grasp this. To enable agentic payments, should I authorize it with more funds or just smarter access to funds? Ensuring payments while maintaining security at every single step. You have to build the whole stack for an end-to-end solution. Wow, that is a huge project. I now see why people were skeptical. I thought it was simpler than it is.
It's a highly integrated system. It's infrastructure that goes beyond a traditional public chain. A public chain alone isn't enough. You need heavy customization to enable agents to make autonomous, large-scale, and secure transfers. It's about economic exchange between agents or agents and services.
Payments is definitely going to be an exciting, high-growth space. Everyone is bullish on it. But payments is also an extremely serious business. Look at Alipay. Security is everything. In the payment sector, as long as you deliver, you're a giant. Security is everything. Users don't care who built the system if something goes wrong. For instance, I keep most of my funds on Binance. The tech stack doesn't matter to me. If something fails, Binance compensates me. With so many moving parts, how do you guarantee security?
This is like the question of provenance and rights confirmation across the entire AI workflow. At its core, it's about attributing fault when something fails. Users don't care about the how. If Kite provides the solution, they expect Kite to cover the losses. From our perspective, it's vital to pinpoint exactly which link in the workflow failed. We need that traceability to hold the responsible party accountable. Managing this system is about handling authorization. In our design, we have multi-level authorization. At the user level, the agent level, and the task level, there are two key points that define our security guarantees. First, Kite never touches user funds. We believe specialized infrastructure providers are better suited for custody. We simply enable agents to execute tasks and facilitate payments on the user's behalf. The agent handles it. Second is delegation, how authorities pass down the process. The entire chain of delegation is fully auditable. Every single step. This provides an immutable proof if anything fails. This allows users and enterprises to identify the responsible party and resolve issues. It even opens the door for insurance solutions, which are already emerging.
So a single payment has many intermediate steps. Does this affect efficiency? What are your transaction speeds?
A core design principle is supporting machine speed. We must support machine-native transactions. This is why we need a specialized agentic payment public chain. The requirements for speed and cost are exceptionally high. It needs to be near instant. Think about the future. 1 single second could see millions of agentic transactions. Any delay or extra cost makes the whole thing impossible. Our goal is to support the entire agentic internet, which isn't just for Web3, it's for every single industry, right? Most AI applications today are primarily in Web 2. Of course, Web3 is evolving too. But we aren't just a Web3 only solution. We want to bring a Web3 solution to the entire AI industry. That's unprecedented. You confident? Absolutely, because we're building from first principles. It's the right design for what AI needs. Blockchain is incredible tech, but we haven't seen mainstream adoption beyond stablecoins. Now, AI's development presents a massive opportunity for a blockchain native system to serve as the payment, trust, and settlement layer for AI. This is an even bigger opportunity than stablecoins. Every Web3 builder should feel proud of this once-in-a-lifetime chance. Look at Stripe. Our lead investor is PayPal, and Stripe is the second largest in the US. We aim to be the third generation of payment infrastructure, and we believe this generation is 10x larger than Stripe. It's a $1 trillion opportunity because PayPal and Stripe only serve e-commerce and humans, but agents will transact 24/7. The scope of their needs is vastly larger than what humans pay for today. Exactly. The speed is what makes it so exciting. When I say step by step, it used to be 1 step per second. Now it's 10. Look at milestones like OpenClaw, Manage, DeepSeek, MCP, and ChatGPT. Each one brings us closer to true autonomous agents making seamless payments.
Your reaction is quite different from most AI founders. You see these developments as driving Kite AI's success.
Exactly, we aren't even surprised. We started planning Kite a year and a half ago. We knew we needed these breakthroughs to make agentic payments a reality. Whether it's OpenClaw or the countless standards that emerged this year, Coinbase's X402, Google's A2A, and Ethereum's ERC 8004. I'm sure many more will come in the next few years. All of this validates the vision we had 18 months ago.
But those are trends set by other leaders. Some say Kite is just jumping on trends. So when does Kite become the trend itself?
Great question. It's when agentic payments reach mass adoption, when they go mainstream and we see agents paying for everything at work and at home. PayPal was the pioneer of the electronic payment era. It laid the foundation for fintech. Stripe was the second generation. Programmable and developer-friendly, Kite is the third generation. A solution built not for humans, but for agents. As frameworks like OpenClaw gain mainstream adoption, the day of autonomous agentic payments is much closer than people think. And when that day comes, Kite will naturally be seen as the infrastructure powering a global agentic payment network. When agentic payments reach true mass adoption, Kite will be the biggest trend.